polished, and
hi again, everybody. Welcome to Nerve Check. It is me once again, this time with the brains and people who actually know what they're talking about. We have the professional podcaster and author himself there, Mr. Mike Rossi, and a man among men. We have Mr. Cory Walzer. How you doing there, people? No,
What's
put
up,
that
buddies?
put that glove
Hey,
down. Put
nice
the glove
gloves
down.
you got there. Weird. Where'd you get that, Cory?
Oh, I got it. I got it from Slaughtering Canadians.
Wow.
To which Cory is holding up is, of course, the very coveted gauntlet of power that is given to the best team for the Northeast. We didn't make some funky cup up. We actually went with something you can punch somebody in the face with, because that's what we do when we're from Canada, I guess. All right, so how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Well,
Mike, you promised me a story. What's the story, buddy?
Well, let's talk about the gauntlet, right? So, Ray, do you want to talk about the gauntlet? Because this is your idea, it's your baby. We have only you to thank and blame for this.
sure. So blatantly copied the Mid-Atlantic, which has the Cornwall Cup, given to the best team in the Mid-Atlantic, top 4, top 3 players, whatever the TO decides. Because it's the Mid-Atlantic, it's based on battle, and it has really encouraged team rivalry in the Mid-Atlantic. So seeing that, I was like, well, we can't do a cup. That'd be like too blatantly obvious. So I was like, what's something medieval, iron, a gauntlet. So you throw down the gauntlet when you go to a tournament saying, we're the best. So I bought the gauntlet in time for King Beyond the Wall.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shambling Horde crossed the border over into Canada.
yeah.
They fucking
Kicked
did.
our asses, won it.
It's true.
We play them first round at Crossroads as the Canadians invade the U.S. this time. We proceed to kick their butts,
Mm-hmm.
and they proceed to beat us in the tournament. So they've retained the title now, two tournaments in a row. So now we're going up to tournament number 3, and Ben, the mastermind, said, we can't afford to lose 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row, we're out, like baseball rules. So we have to get at least a single. So
Sure. So what did you do? So what did you do in order to get a
Ray,
team together?
What
did you do?
You do?
Well, I went down to Nerdhammer, and I went undefeated, got a tie against Chet, and I was like, and I merged for the Mid-Atlantic Irregulars. So Chet, who I tied with at the end of Game 5, was like, well, I'll come and play with you guys. So you have number 1 and number 2 from Nerdhammer to help win the cup, because I don't know how many people we need and what is best of. So I recruited Chet. We did have Alex Chavez at one point in time, but he got picked up by a different team.
He did.
And Ben then went on a recruiting spree for like, I want everyone and their dog to be on Team Canada.
Sure.
So I think we might have like 8 people out of the 38 people.
More. Just so you know, it's more. How many Canadians are coming down? I think it's 6, right?
6, yeah. It's at least 6.
And then 3 guys from Buffalo plus
That's right.
Chet. Yeah. So I go to do the pairings, and the system takes a dump all over itself because it can't handle having a third of the field be one club, right? It's like, I don't even know what you're doing here. Like, why? So I had to manually go in and move stuff around to make it so there were actual tables filled out.
The last time Canadians invaded America, you ended up with a White House. That's all I'm going to say. There was a barbecue.
No,
we
listen,
burned something down. We left. We came back.
Those were the days. Listen, I know the history. It's fine, right? Also, the British aren't here to save you anymore. But what I would say, yeah, you. What I would say is this. Okay. What I would say is this. Right. You're going to come down. Your guys are going to have a great time. We're going to see what's up. I do want to.
We're going to raise a lot of money for which charity?
Type 1D, right? So we're doing a breakthrough Type 1D. This will be the 4th year that we've run the tournament. Fourth year we've run the charity. We've raised $5,500 so far amongst the 3 years we've been doing it. It's a great charity. They're doing really good things to help kids with type 1 diabetes. I know there's some prominent people even in our Kings of War scene that have the sensors in the type 1D, right? It's legit. So it's a thing that's near and dear to my heart. My daughter's got it, and she doesn't get insulin for 5 days, she dies, and so we can't have that. We need to figure something else out, right? And this is the deal. And every year, it's like there's 35, 40 people in the room, and we raise $1,300, $1,400 before George, the owner of the store, kicks in his bunch, right? But take that down and just divide it out, right? I mean, that's a lot of money. Everyone's almost doubling their entry fee in order to do the charity stuff, and I cannot thank everybody enough. It is hot, man. I mean, it is the community is the best. Even if you guys do have to get 52 people to come and beat the horde, like it's fine. Like the charity thing is the number one thing.
So I am going to double down. So in addition to bringing the money for the charity, if people bring their copies of Honor's Price, will an author sign it for them, even if they brought it to Masters and the author didn't sign it there?
Got drunk at Masters and forgot, but that's fine. Like I'll have a pen. It'll be great. I'll take care of it. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Well, we're definitely honestly, the fact that you're raising money for charity is absolutely fantastic for a guy with diabetes himself. Thank you. Really,
it's no joke, man.
It really isn't, and it's great that like just a bunch of stupid bloody gamers get together, have a great goddamn time. Who the hell cares who wins, really? Except we're bringing back that gauntlet. Screw you. But no, you're raising money, you're doing all sorts of good things. I mean, for being an engineer, you're a pretty good guy. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I might go that far, maybe.
Listen, I'm a solid 6 out of 10. I understand how it works, right?
I don't know, man. You buy me a couple of drinks, I'd take you out for dinner. So,
checks out.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to go right straight into numbers.
Boo.
Because you can't talk engineers without talking numbers. So the most popular army was Kingdoms of Men, to the surprise of everyone.
Yeah. So is this a rollover from the Masters, I wonder? So
might be. I mean, to be honest, like I read the Kingdoms of Men list, and I think that I do want to talk about the army restrictions real quick. I do restrictions every year. I have a rule, usually like a rule of 2, and it says you can't have any more than 2 of any one unit size combinations. You can have 2 regiments of something, 2 hordes of something, 2 troops of something, but you can't have 3 regiments of something, right? And so that cuts down on spam and also kind of makes it so that not all the tournaments are the same. I run 2150 with a couple restrictions to make it so people have to tweak their list a little bit to get a little different feel. Last year, we did a bunch of special scenario rules around zombie tokens that you were able to essentially give to units, and they gave you special powers based on the scenario. This year it's 2150, and because it's being run by the Shambling Horde, and the Shambling Horde is the best, everybody gets a free horde of zombies, and also a free Tome of Darkness to hand to one of their characters. So it's 2150 plus another 130 points of stuff. So it's close to 2300, but it's part of it is taken up with the horde and
I actually really like the restrictions you put in. I extremely like the 2150 point thing. I think it makes people make decisions more than anything else. I wasn't the biggest fan of the zombie token last year, but I really like the zombie horde this year. I like it. If you didn't have the right units, it didn't fit. But I mean, that's something that you should have read the.
Well, I messed that up. I will take it. I will. I try stuff and then I don't get the communication out in time. It's fine. It's no big deal. This time around, I made sure everybody knew ahead of time. You're gonna bring yourself a horde of zombies. There's gonna be bonuses by scenario based on. Sometimes the guy with the book is going to get a bonus. Sometimes the horde is going to get a bonus. Sometimes there's going to be special rules around the 2 of them. But I made sure everybody knew there's going to be that. But I'm not going to tell you what the special stuff is because it's actually tied back to the scenarios that we're playing in round.
Oh, there you go. Right. So the Shambling Horde gets to find out, and the rest of us doesn't. Okay, we get that. We get it.
No one knows. No one knows any of the stuff. The player pack isn't actually going to go to the printer until it's all done, but I got to send it to the printer this weekend, and then we'll have it out for everybody on Sunday.
No, I'm kidding, mate. No, obviously, right. But sorry. I know we started here with the 4 Kingdoms of Men. I still think it goes back to our buddy John and that thing that he brought, that atrocity that he brought to Masters.
John and Chet and copycats.
Yeah.
I literally don't think that anybody in the Kingdoms of Men walks unless if you're a peasant, you walk. But everyone else has these weird atrophied legs, right? Because everyone's flying on stuff with wings, like
There's a lot of children. There's a lot of children that are pretending to be.
Yeah, they just strap them to stuff and go, get the flying, right?
Well, we also have 3/4 of the Abyss, which I'm not shocked. Night Stalkers, again, not shocked. But Herd is something that it's unheard of. Some might say that there is this many Herd players coming this time around. I was actually looking for more dwarves, but shockingly, no. With two sets of dwarves, Force of Nature, halflings, League of Wardia, Ratkins, Riftforge Orcs, Trident Realms, Undead, and Varangur. We also have one of the Abyssals, one Basilia, one Elves. God love you. One Empire of Dust, only one Northern Alliance, and I'm pretty sure he came from the north to come down and do that.
Yeah, surprising actually.
You would expect more of those as well. One orc and one Order of the Green Lady. This is kind of
one of the Green Lady. But Cory, you and I were talking about what's missing.
Ogres.
Yeah,
not a single ogre player.
Weird, right? I mean, do they need 3 hordes of stuff?
It's the change, and I think people. I know Drew. I was an ogre player. Drew from our club was also an ogre player.
Yep.
And we've been playing them for a while. So this is just taking a step back and playing something new.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of ogre builds were that I have however many siege breakers I can fit in, plus the huge number of warlocks to do all the things and make it run. And now that it doesn't quite work that way, people might have to be taking a step back and being like, all right, now do I want to do something new, or if I'm gonna have to paint something different other than siege breakers.
It's funny because based on the list that you normally take, it's like this is your time, Cory. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I already know what this build does.
Yeah, I was only running 2 siege breakers and I was usually 2 hunters and stuff anyway. So, but
yeah, I was actually I was actually a little disappointed when I saw you were going to be running Racket. I'm like, God damn it, no.
Right.
So no, I mean, I get what people are thinking about this, but the fact that the mercenary rule now means what it does, and it was taken away from the siege breakers. But I mean, come on, like siege breakers move forward, stand in the middle, say, "Come and get me." We've got a couple of guys trying out legions here, which are absolutely and completely fucking disgusting. Like they really are. Like that is a lot of attacks. That's a lot of attacks and a lot of meat and a lot of fat boys and a lot of things to try and get through. Too bad the legs can barely stand. They all miss leg day. It's always going to be forever. It's always going to be like that.
I'm not afraid. I've played against a Legion of Ogres a couple times and I'm never afraid of it. And I'm actually the same. I'm never afraid of like a horde of knights either. Like I know that they're scary, I know, but it's one giant unit that you can kind of like muck up pretty easily because the footprint is so big, right?
Yeah. And not just that, but the fact that siege breakers are back down to speed 5.
Yeah.
That is a huge knock on siege breakers being slower than everything else.
Sorry, go ahead there. Sorry, Ray, what was that?
They were speed 5 in 2nd edition. I tried to play ogres when I began this game. I sucked at them, and they have never come out since.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain like I have a 1-10-1 record with Abyssal Dwarves in tournaments. I will never play Abyssal Dwarves again. I love the aesthetic. Evil dwarves are my thing. Big hats are my thing. Flying things with a dwarf on the back, fantastic. Half centaur looking dwarves, amazing. Can't play them. Just cannot play them.
They're hard. Right? They're hard to play. Right?
So,
they have. I don't know.
Anyway, moving on.
Skipping over cool stats. Minimum number of units was 10. Max was 16. The army that had 10 units also, the Ren's Varangurs also had a unit strength of 18. So if you want to play low unit strength, low drops, That's interesting. And I think in his first round, he's playing League of Warrior with 14 units and 22 unit strength. But the max would be 16 and 28, which is Bart with Night Stalkers. So quite the spread there. I wouldn't want to.
I love his list. I love it. When we get to it, I really.
When we get to it, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and remember, we're using command dice, and Night Stalker commands are really good.
They're legit. Yeah.
But it's also on 65 minutes, so the games will be tight.
Mm-hmm.
And when we played at Nerdhammer, we were playing on 70 minutes, and people were clocking out. So my guess was first round, 30% of the games, people will clock out.
Right. I would think so. I know that our club hasn't been getting a lot of practice in, despite the fact that we're smashing your face over and over again. And I don't know about anybody that's had a lot of experience with command dice on our side, right? No. I mean, life has gotten in the way during Christmas time and stuff since the Clash book came out, right? Yeah, every week it's like, we're looking for practice games, and everyone's like, me too, and then we never actually get anything together, right? I think we've had one day where we get a couple people together to play, and that's about it. Yeah. So
I played Harry Wise. That's it.
Yeah. I think I've had about 5-6 games of them maximum at this point in time. But what the hell do I know? I'm playing Trident Realms. I mean, mine are easy. It's do I want Pathfinder or not? Hey, right. Well, that's pretty much it. No, it's well, I mean, it's a new side of the. I know building my list, I took command dice into effect because I have things that I liked over that. So the way I built my list was completely different to the way I would build it without command dice. So it's something. And just getting used to rolling them and remembering to roll them. And I mean, a lot of the games, the practice games that we played here just a couple of weeks ago, we had to remind each other at the beginning. It's you've got to roll them. I'm still going to do this in the tournament. I'm still going to remind the guy across from me. Like,
no, you have to. Done this yet. You have to.
Yeah. Right. I think it's going to be a learning curve, that's for sure. And I think you're all right. It's going to cause the clock to kind of explode on us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, say again, right?
I was just saying, speaking of the clock, we should probably get into the matchups.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. Nicely done. Right.
He does like to move us along. All right, mate, let's go on.
So we have round one. We have Chris with his Basilia list against Ken with his orcs.
Oh, we love K2.
Chris's Basilias, well-known Paladins, Sisterhood Scouts, Alohi, Ogre Palace Guard, the Aboleth, Phoenixes, 2 Phoenixes, and the Priest. K2's list, Morax, Young Axe, Reborn Legionnaires, not often seen. I think that's the first time I've seen that in his list. Gore Rider's Fight Wagon, he has commented that Fight Wagon has done work, especially with the Pathfinder.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
War Drums, Giant, Crudger, and Gakamax. So I think K2 is going for max fun. I'm sad that there are no orcs with long spears.
He doesn't do that sort of thing. I mean, he was on the orc review. I thought he said that he was never going to play one of these units, but I could be wrong.
It's an inspiring source. I mean, it's really good, so it's hard to argue.
But no Morax Mansplitter.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, to be honest. They're really good, and he uses them really well.
Yeah, but he did take the one guy that is above all else, Gakamak, hitting on 2s. I love that guy.
Yeah, he sucks. I hate that guy. He is. I've missed wavering him so many times and being like, "Yep, you're gonna run away now." Yeah, there you go. Bring more stuff.
All right, I've only ever had the privilege of playing K2 once, and I hate war drums. And here's one of the reasons why. I hit those things with a regiment of Silver Breeze Knights. Sorry, Silver Helmed, whatever the hell they are. The actual elves that actually can fight.
Yeah.
3 turns later, the war drum won. So,
you think your dice blow? That's awful.
I couldn't kill them. Right. I cannot kill war drums. I cannot do it. So K2, this time around, I'm coming for you, buddy.
You're not coming for it. What are you even talking about? Here's the interesting thing, Ben. I take a look at this matchup. So Chris actually reached out to and challenged Ken and said, okay,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he this is a challenge. So Chris was like, come and get some, and Ken was like, no problem. Right? K2's like, I'll smash your face. But the interesting thing about this matchup is that Chris's all comers, well-rounded, right? Basilean army. I actually think is going to be at a minor disadvantage to K2's. I run up, I hit you again, I hit you again, I hit you again, and then you're dead. Right? I mean, it is. I think that when I've played Chris in the past, when you run everything up and just pressure, then he can't bring his well-rounded, super awesome army to bear. If you give him one extra turn where you're fiddling around, he's like, well, now you're doomed, because he immediately takes control of the board.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
We all love Chris. He's a fantastic guy. He's a good
That
laugh.
dude rules.
Yeah, he honestly does. He's got one of the best voices I've ever heard. It's just smooth as silk. Great guy. You're gonna get your ass handed to you. This is all K2 all day.
You think so?
I honestly think so. I really do.
I figured I was going to be the controversial opinion. Corey, set us straight.
I think that there just might be too much meat to chew through. The fact that Chris is bringing the best ogres that you can put on the table.
That's right.
Ogre Palace Guards are the best ogres.
Right.
So he's got a lot of stuff, but yeah, I think there might just be too much meat to chew through.
Yeah, I do.
In the orc list. But it'll be bloody and close, I think.
All right, what about you there, Ray? You got anything on this?
I played K2 once, which was an absolute blast at Dead of Winter. I played Chris twice or three times now. I think I'm going to give it to Chris. I will be the one standing out against the three of you going, I'm going to vote for Chris. His artillery will hit. His phoenixes will shoot, because he's not going to use heal, because whatever K2 touches is going to be dead.
Dead.
I would like to think so, just because I like the idea of orcs murdering everything they touch. But
I think this is
so, Ben, are you keeping track of this? Are you keeping track of these?
I got to write shit down. I'll listen to this again.
Well, you can say no. I mean, it's fine.
I could say
first
no.
time on here.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I'm going to
go to round number 2 while Ben flounders on this issue, because.
Oh no! Oh, I wonder how this came across. I saw this earlier on today, and I was so happy. I was dancing at work, and I've had a pretty bad day, pretty bad week at work, actually.
Dancing.
I couldn't wait. I could not wait, buddy. I think you know one of these guys.
I do, yeah. I know both of them, actually.
Right?
To be fair, yeah.
Well, it's always self-discovery as a journey. So, Ben, are you going to? Why don't you go through your list and a little discussion about like what it does and why it does everything it does, and all the strategies you're going to use depending on the scenario.
Strategies. Have you ever met me? I don't have a strategy. I just kind of like hope that dice roll better for me. Fuck, man. I've spent lots of money on brand new dice from Baron of Dice. One day we will be sponsored by them, Baron of Dice, just to make sure that my rolls are almost decent at this point in time. All right. So my Trident Realm list, I love playing Trident Realm. I went to Twilight Kin for a while. I ruined a bunch of people's days. I made a lot of people mad at me. So I went back to Trident Realms, because why the hell not? But so 2 units of River Guard, 1 with the Fire Oil, 1 unit of Depth Horrors. I take Helm of the Drunken Ram on them now, because I find it extremely useful. Fantastic army. Fantastic item for that unit. 2 units of Gigas. I will say forever that Gigas should be 14 attacks. I still don't know why they're not. 2 units of the Tile Swarm, which are absolute MVPs for me every single time. Knuckers, believe it or not, I hate Knuckers, but they are useful as crap. The Aquamage, mostly because of the +1 to the speed. But I also take Barkskin on her with the periscope, because nothing says "haha, I can see you" like a periscope, and you can see over whatever the hell she's hiding behind. The Riverguard Sentinel, great bloody piece. Ensnare in anything over toughness 3 is just fantastic. The Depth Horror Eternals, which again,
they're MVPs, dude. They're so good.
They are so good. Somebody at some point in time when I went to Masters, I think his name was Mike something, said that they were not very good or wouldn't be very good in the Army. And now he's saying some other things. I wonder who that could have been. No, I'm kidding. I love them. They can hold up units, Fury, 14, 16, Ensnare, Def 4, hard as hell to get rid of and hit like a ton of bricks. And the Trident King. I've always liked the Trident King. He's never been as good as he is right now. The additional options that they put on it, I've taken Elite because why the hell not? It not only gives Elite to just the Gigas, but also to himself. Made him a hell of a lot better. They've given him just a couple of tweaks. Hitting on 3s is pretty good. It's now 10 attacks instead of 12. He still has just about everything that he used to have. I still wish you could take an item of some sort on him, but you can't. I still think maybe this should actually be what the Kraken is, but I love Trident Realms. I've been able to play this. I've played this for years and years and years. Really, my list has not changed a lot. My strategy is basically to make you think that you can hit me, and you can't because I am very insane. Like you said, I just because I do a lot of this. It's basically it.
Going on.
But I get to play Cory finally, and he's bringing his rats. What do you got, buddy?
I got a regiment of spear rats. I got a horde of spear rats with plague pots. I got 2 troops of claw shots, 2 troops of shock, 2 hordes of shock troops. One with brewer strength, one with brewer sharpness. I got 2 of the little rat packs. I can't remember off the top of my head what they're called. I have the hero that gives vicious melee.
Yeah, War Chief.
War Chief, vicious melee. He's also the guy that is going to carry my book. And then I got a Tangle. I got Mother Kryza. I got because she's always fun. I've got a regular whatever Mother Kryza is. I forget the names of my units. And then
but most importantly, you have
I have Lord Scuddington. Yes.
Boo.
That's pretty much the list. It's a lot of bodies on in big long lines, and who doesn't love that? We're gonna keep pushing through, and I have a lot of phalanx, which
it's not really going to be a big deal for me, but
not so much. But
so.
Given the rest of the lists in the field, there's a lot of flyers and a lot of cavalry, so I'm feeling pretty good about my choices there. This is I did not paint this the army. My buddy Russ had that was his first entry into our Warhammer and Kings of War. He was a big Skaven guy, so I get to use his get to use his models and put them on the table for him. So it's always a good time, and I get to roll 30 dice, and I enjoy rolling big giant handfuls of dice.
Well, let's be honest here. I am more than happy to time you out and watch you roll all those dice.
Never.
I'm going to be turning some of these units back.
Never, not once.
Come and get me, big boy.
I have never timed out.
Yep. Cory and I
now I want it to happen.
Never timed out.
Now I want it to happen. I'm going to give you a rear charge you're not going to be able to resist. I'm going to make you every one of those dice. I'm going to make you roll.
No problem. No problem.
I'm going to put my money on Cory. Screw you, Ben. Because Cory has a list that I would be proud of as a Ratkin player to take.
Yes, Scud. That thing should be shot.
Scud. It has the shock troops, and Cory has seen rats in action more than enough times between Cory and myself to know what to do with them. He's going to kick your ass, Ben.
Well, thanks a lot, buddy. This does mean that somebody else is going to take my place to get points, but that's cool. At least I'm on table 2 for round 1. That's what I get 2 cool things. I get to play you, buddy, and I get to be on table 2 and say I was there.
I like it. Be a good time. Yeah.
I'm obviously going to say I'm going to time you out, but I'm going to pick you overall. But mate, I have a feeling I'm in a little bit of trouble here. but I'm not going to go down. I'm not going down easy. I am not going down easy.
Well, actually, it depends on the scenario. Have a drink, right?
It's going to be a great game.
It is.
What do you think there, Rossi? I know everybody else is picking Cory except me, really.
To be honest, Bud, I really think that Cory doesn't know what he's doing with this list.
Nope, not at all.
They're right.
I can't remember the names of the units.
Seriously, he was like, I don't know. I got something, and I got some rats. I got some other rats. I got some mom rat. I got mom rats. I got these mom rats. I got dad rats. I got tall rats. Like, I don't know. So he doesn't know what he's doing, right? Yeah. Like everything's just like a bunch of squares with numbers, right? So he doesn't know. He has no idea. So notice how I didn't say he's going to lose. I'm just saying he has no idea. When you inevitably lose, Ben, it's going to be actually worse.
I love this. I absolutely love this. Unfortunately, we really should keep it. I could talk about this for the next half hour, but
we're not going to. We're going to move to the next matchup because we're going to keep.
I can't wait, Mike. I can't wait. All right.
What we have here,
halflings versus halflings. How the hell did this halfling happen?
This is one of 3 civil wars that Mike has graced us with. Halflings, undead on undead, and kingdoms of men on kingdoms of men.
Well, don't spoil the lead. Let's just go through this one.
Okay, well, they both have spear spikes. They both have stalwarts. They both have grenadiers. They both have juggers.
Sorcerers.
Both have aeronauts, like harvesters. Like they're almost the same armies. It's you know what? I'm just going to roll a die to see which one I'm going to vote for.
No. There's 2 things I want to say about these lists. I really think that the restrictions, such as they are, of 2 of whatever, really lean into halflings. Because halflings want to have a whole bunch of different utility units anyway, right? To fight in battle groups. You don't want 5 of... There isn't an obvious choice in halflings that goes, I want 5 of these, right? So like it actually works as a combined arms list. So I'm not surprised that multiple people came with halflings. Second, I'm going to choose Jason Willis because the names of his units are the best names ever. I don't know if people at home can read them, but he has a flying dude named the Baconator, right? So
on the Baconator alone, look, this is probably down the line a little bit. I mean, aeronauts and the grenadiers are fantastic. They both got them. I'm not sure on how this is going to go. I can't really see a big difference between the 2. Sure, Baconator wins it every single fucking time. I mean, how can you not? How can you not?
His muster captain is Colonel Mustard. So come on,
right? He's got a unit called Side of Fries, dude. Come on. Right?
Well, because the spear guys are Burger King, and then it's Side of Fries and a Coke are the next 2 minutes.
Of it
with free delivery as number 4.
I do think that halflings are underused. I do think they're a great army. Unfortunately, because this is a civil war, because this is you got to go with the Baconator. That's all I'm going to say. How about you guys?
I'm going to go with David just to be the contrarian because
for sure.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, David Rico reached out to me and he was like, "Oh, here's my list," and I said, "Oh, can't wait to meet you face to face." And he just replied with, "I have no idea what I'm doing." Right. So I guess he's coming up with Jake and Noah Hutton.
Fantastic.
PK and Noah. So he's coming up with those guys from the irregulars, and I'm just happy that he's making the trip up here. Right.
Yeah. So
every time.
New faces are awesome.
Yeah, it's so great. Right.
One of the best tournaments to come and start and come and play, almost as good as March of Death, which is happening on the 1st and 2nd of the following month.
Don't forget, friends, March of Death. Sign up now. All right.
After you buy your book from Mr. Rossi, The Honors Prep.
Number 4.
We've got this. This actually kind of freaked me out a little bit. Really, Forces of Nature for Cory Reynolds. Then again, I mean, I think he could play. The only other thing that we didn't mention was Goblins was not shown on this.
No, he is not allowed to play Goblins ever. I would not want to see what his Goblins trash list would be.
By the way, Cory, play Goblins.
No.
Look, Cory's always the guy for me that I will pick to win. He is playing against dwarves. Air elementals do not like dwarves. I don't care who the hell you are. Earth elementals. This is probably the slowest army I've ever seen Cory play.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got an idea. I'm sure he's got something in mind for all of this. But damn, mate, for the first time ever, maybe I you know what, playing against dwarves with that much shooting and that much, I don't think Cory might not come out of this one unscathed.
You're missing something, and that is that the forces of nature, orders, commands, you can ignore shambling for a turn, which all of a sudden, for one turn, but that's fine because it takes an air elemental and shoots it 20 inches up the board and has a turn to the left, and now you got to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
That order in and of itself on the one unit is going to disrupt. It has the opportunity to disrupt a bunch of stuff. If I was playing Eric and that happened to me, I'd be like, well, now I have to ignore that, right? Or know ahead of time. And the question is, I mean, it's that can you be flexible with a dwarven list that is? I love Eric's list, by the way, but it's going to start thinking every other dwarf list does. It's kind of slow. It's hard to deal with things that are quick. They land in your backfield, right?
Well, like you were saying, with the 20 inches, they're still nimble. They'll still be able to do all their things.
Yep.
And I think there is a hack there, but I'm really glad that somebody decided to say that out loud on the podcast that everybody, and I do mean all of the tens of people, will be listening to. Eric, for Christ's sake, I'm hoping that you listen to this and take wind of it on the way up. But you are a dwarf guy. You said you like the list. It's fairly stock standard dwarf list, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, there's not much you can do to stop that. You can't. Yeah, he's gonna roll his command dice. If he gets it, it happens. Yeah. Dwarfs aren't fast enough to be like, I put some. Oh wait, no, I'm over here. That's cool. I mean, I wish I had knees.
Well, I was gonna say there's certain units that you can take that actually allow you to mitigate that, right? But if I remember correctly, Eric hasn't taken them, right? He doesn't have a king with wings. He doesn't have a berserker on a Brock, right? So those are like the oh shit I'm in trouble units that you run around because they're individual and you can turn 360 and fly and like punch the dude in the face. He doesn't have it. The other thing is that Cory, oddly enough, is really good, and he's not going to do it first turn like some people are like I YOLO, and now it's like he's just going to wait until it's time, and then he'll go, oh, now's the time to do that.
Cory is one of the scariest people I've ever played, but he's the best guy I've ever played. I always laugh my ass off while I'm playing him. He still famously, and I don't care how many times even I say it, beat me in a game killing one stupid fucking mage, and he still won that game playing control because the man is an absolute fiend in this game. However, I'm betting against you, Cory. I think the dwarves can do it. I think they can figure this shit out. I think I'm going to drug you before we play this damn thing so we can win back the gauntlet. I'm not sure an elephant tranquilizer would take Cory Reynolds out, though.
The problem is he can play Kings of War in his sleep better than I can. So it's a thing. It's
So I'm going to bet on Cory, but I'm also going to bet that Cory's going to time out turn 5.
Ooh. Wow.
Interesting.
I do not think so with this.
65 minutes, command dice. By the end of turn 5, he's going to be timed out, and he's going to have 1 at the end of turn 5 with no turn.
All right, there. The better of the Corys. What do you think about this? This
negative Ghost Rider. Listen, Cory Reynolds is in my phone as Cory Primus, and I'm Cory Secundus. There is no question on tiers here.
Mm-hmm.
Forces of Nature gonna do some running around and nonsense.
But that being said,
I really like Eric's list, but
me too. And the best. I actually think that dwarves have a really good set of commands as well. I mean, if Cory goes in and doesn't break a unit, that unit's going to come back with however many attacks at an additional crush 1 because of the commands.
And
right, that's really strong stuff, especially against, the forces of nature. Their idea is like, oh, you hit me, and I'm going to stick around. You're going to grind a little bit. I'm going to heal, but you can't heal if you're not there, right? And so units that hit on 3s with rerolls, and then either have the additional crush 1, or he's got the hammer measured force. I'm sure on the formation, right? It's legit, So anyway,
So
I'm super glad that Eric is coming. He's coming with his son, Alex, which actually makes me happy too.
He does not.
oh, it's even better.
He's
he
got
doesn't have the formation, does he?
He's got
No,
the
he has the
formation, but they have the Chant of Hate on the Horde.
I
Chant of
actually
Hate.
like that.
He's
I
got
really
the
do like
VSB with Shroud of the Saint.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Elite and Vicious against anything that's defense 4 will be better than.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
I'm still picking the dwarves. So let's go on. Screw you, Cory.
So the next one is
Oh,
Alex.
get it.
It's gonna be a good one, right?
Alex
If I had the technology to have a drone and a camera, I would run it over this one. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I honestly
Right.
do think. I know in the chat I was
Second
saying somebody
choice.
else.
yeah.
All right,
This
so
is my
I
second
will
choice,
do
Mike.
Nathan.
If you get the drone. This is number 2. I can tell you what number 1 is.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
you can tell us later. After you tell us what is in Alex's list, roughly there, Mr. Ray.
Alex's list is a menage of Forces of Abyss with Flame Bearers, Gargoyles, 2 hordes of Berserkers because everyone wants the Abyssal Berserkers, Abyssal Horsemen, 2 Fiends, Seductress, Warlock, the Betrayer, and Bail. So he has a bit of everything. He has shooting that begins at the 24 inches with his lightning bolts and just intensifies as you get closer to it. 18 inches the Flame Bearers, 12 inches the Fiends. And he is going against Nathan.
Mr. Cerrone, my actual boss, believe it or not, if I ever work on the afternoon shift, he really it drives me nuts. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. No, wonderful guy. So 2 units of Hell Strikers, a unit of Fight Wagons. It's a legion of Fight Wagons. I hate Fight Wagons, by the way. He's only got 1 drum in this, which is, we've talked about this a few times. He actually likes the 1 drum. I'm more into the 2, mostly because I can't kill 1, so why does it matter? He's got 1 Storm Giant, 1 Flagger, the Rift Forger, a God Speaker, so he can get out just the Bane Chant. I got him on the Manticore, which is actually quite hard to bloody kill. I hate those things. And the Formation, which allows them to bring the Legionnaires, more Legionnaires, and even more Legionnaires. Nathan, this is his bread and butter. He plays Rift Forge like all the bloody time.
Right.
And he really does know what he's doing with them. However, he's playing against Alex Chavez. But in the I actually think Nathan's got a good shout in this. I know Alex is good. I know Alex's list looks quite familiar to a person that may or may not be on this cast right now. However, I think with the Hell Strikers and the flying and being able to get in and being able when to get in, and all he's got to do is get 1 good shot in with those Fight Wagons and they're all over you.
Sure.
And that can be a problem.
It's funny. I think that Alex has a really good chaff game. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to trade pieces, right?
Oh,
and to get
definitely.
people into
Former master, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I actually am kind of happy we have 2 former masters playing in the tournament, right? So pretty awesome. I am looking at is Nathan bringing? He must be bringing the display board.
the undulating, yes.
Yeah, dude. Like the units like this and are on clouds.
This
and
mad genius changes display boards more often than some people actually change underwear. So it depends. He's got about 3 different display boards for this. It might be the undulating one. It might be one of the dark crystal one, which I actually prefer. It's is
that the one that is floating? Everything is up and floating.
Yeah. No, he is. When I say he's a mad genius, he really is. His stuff is fantastic. When he really wants to paint, he can. His stuff is always the shit he comes out to me with, and he goes, "Hey, have you ever tried doing this?" And it's like, "What the hell did you cook this up with?"
I gotta say that when he brought his army to Masters, Rav Panoff and a lot of other people were giving that the 3rd look. I mean, they were really impressed with the work he did on his Night Stalkers.
If you knew the amount of time it pales into comparison to the Helga board he did for Crossroads a couple of years ago, where he did the Bat Out of Hell thing.
Yeah,
and all the units went inside into the was, and it played Anything for Love, and it had a smoke thing in it. It was just fantastic.
right?
Do you know that whole thing actually moved on top of that? Now, that all being said, and yes, he's a former master, I am going to pick Nathan. I really am. Honestly, completely, yes. I think this, I mean, who wants to play Force of the Abyss? I mean, these bandwagon jumping people.
Je ne come latelys.
We're getting even littler, man.
Cory, who are
Getting
you
even
voting
littler,
for?
imp. With an even littler broom.
I can't go against Alex. Alex has punched my face in entirely too often for me not to go Alex.
It made it seem easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Nate, though. I think that Nate's going to make Alex work, right? But
yeah, it's gonna be a hard one. But I think
I give Alex in a tight one, right?
Well, I voted against Ben earlier, so I'm going to vote for Nathan, even though aristocrat blood with Alex. But he's playing on the Mid-Atlantic Irregulars. He's going to be too drunk Friday night, which will impede his ability to play first game Saturday morning. And I have strike dice, and he's going to win at least $10 at the dollar game. And drink half a bottle of booze, if not more, and that will.
Yeah, it's so. I just want to be clear. I mean, there's a lot of things that you're saying here. Unless it's happening at his hotel room, our venue, yes, it serves beer and yes, it serves all kinds of food and stuff, but we're not. It's not like being at a hotel where it's like woo, like it really.
Oh no, he's gonna get to the hotel. I'm gonna like drop off the duty free booze and like.
You're a bad man. You're a bad man, right? That's all there is to it. I see what you're doing.
None of this is so I'm guessing the other three of you are just going to be going after here with Chavez. Then, eh?
No, I'm going with Nathan.
No,
are you going with Nathan?
Ray went with Nate. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't listening.
Actually, if I'm being honest, I like the Hell Strikers with the 20 inches being able to jump over.
I do like. He knows how to play those two.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of people with flyers hit him in the face, and he's figured it out. Anyway, on to matchup number 6.
Crispy.
And Owen. Sorry, I'm not sure I know Owen.
So Owen is straight out of Vermont. He is like the nicest dude. He is like the best dude. You know what I mean?
I played him for the first time at Orktown like 2 years ago. He was such a fun guy, such a blast to play. And then he came down for Dead of Winter last year, and like he's a Shambling Horde member. He is the sole.
He is now
Shambling Horde Vermont member.
Awesome.
We inducted him at Dead of Winter last year.
That's cool. Good to know.
I'm like, we have no rules. Come on in.
Seriously,
we embrace everybody.
I had to like fill out a form to join the Unplugged Gamers to show my tax returns. Yeah. No, this is
look, the Murder Garage took people from Buffalo. I mean, we'll take people from anywhere.
Render agrees.
Anyway, let's go into this. We'll go through Owen. Owen's got 1, 2, 3 units of Spirit Walkers. I love Spirit Walkers. 4 units.
2 regiments and 2 hordes.
2 regiments and 2 hordes. Yep.
Yeah.
Which are all fantastic. All hit hard. You got to look out for them. 2 units of Harpies. Good man. It's almost the right amount of Harpies. Unfortunately, you can't take 3 because of this. 2 units of 4 Shamblers. Shamblers are better than people ever give them credit for. I really do like them.
The regiments.
Minotaur Chariots. Sorry.
Great.
Yeah. The Minotaur Chariots. I haven't seen a lot of people take the chariots. I'm going to be quite interested in how these things perform.
Well, usually you see them in the regiment form and their stampedes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
And then we've got a Beast of Nature. Everybody knows how good a Beast of Nature is. We've got the Great Chieftain, who has the Great Horn, which I believe is +1 speed. I could be wrong on that. And a Blade of Slashing, which is fantastic. Those things will kill you. They're bastards. Moonfang, which is possibly one of the best legendary units in the game, and a Druid, just because you need a guy to. And he's doing it. He's taking Barkskin on this guy, so those Spirit Walkers are going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to take out. And if he's smart, put that on some Harpies every once in a while, and I'll tell you that Barkskin will keep those things alive for a long time.
Between that and the regen, they really have some staying power, which is really awkward and sad, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, it like I said, even my title swarms will stick around way longer than they should. And
Harpies don't have regen.
So
Not
I
anymore. Oh, those harpies don't have regen.
Yeah, using
Right.
gargoyle.
I goofed up. Chris is clearly not playing Basilia. He's playing Night Stalkers.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I will, because there's two Chris's. One played Basilia, one played Night Stalkers, and I clearly put the wrong number in. But you get what you pay for. So,
Well, you're an engineer. We'll let it go.
Spelling's not our strong point. Two Tormentors, Phantoms, Ravengers, which is unique in Night Stalkers. Don't see them very often.
No, you don't.
Mind Screech, Terrors, Horror, and however you pronounce the special character, which I can never do.
Shakira.
Yes.
Hips don't lie, buddy.
Damn right.
What I'm always amazed by is how much quicker Owen's list is.
Yeah.
Straight across the board, he's quicker. He produces a whole metric ton of attacks.
Do remember though that his beast of nature is not flying; it is a walking beast of nature.
Yeah, but that
even speed 7 puts him faster than everything than the Phantoms and Shakira on the Night Stalker list.
True.
Because
the one thing,
sorry,
the one thing he will in playing Twilightkin recently with quite a few units of 2 units of Ravagers plus some additional shooting in it. Those things can clear units. They are really good. I mean, they're not Twilightkin power of getting them with the weakness and being able to push and pull them as much as you like. But, if he plays this right, you can take up a unit a turn just with the two hordes. Like that's a lot more shooting than people give it credit for. Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't put like a Blessing of the Gods on one of those units.
But don't forget that they also in Herd get Ferocious Charge as their order.
They do.
So do the Basilians. Oh, I mean Night Stalkers.
Sure. I also want to just say, like, Chris sent some pictures about some of the minis that he had painted, some of the units he painted.
So good.
So good. So his Night Stalker theme before was a lot of 3D printed stuff, but it's like a house that is being haunted, right? And so there's just like kids sleeping surrounded by ghosts and things like. It is awesome. It is so cool, right?
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's absurd how good his stuff looks. And he did, I believe, win Paragon last semester.
He certainly did.
So he's kind of good.
Yeah. He's rather all around, right?
Well, having a quick look at this with the Tormentors with Leaper, which is one of the better rules that people are not looking for, and the fact that the Terrors, the Terrors are going to rip through a bunch of these, a bunch of this Herd army, unfortunately. And Owen, I like the idea, but I think you've pulled a bad one to start here. Maybe. I'm going to take Chris over. I'm with the Terrors and the Leapers over the Herd here.
I think if Owen plays KG and he can make space, and then be able to get a Zerg, break something in turn, yes, he'll lose some units, but it's a question of what his second wave is able to do if he's positioned correctly, right?
So, Mike, you were picking who then?
I'm picking Chris.
You're still picking Chris? Okay.
Cory?
I'm also picking Chris. I think it's not a great matchup for Chris either. But I just think there's some of those things that it just gets a little rough for Owen to kind of chew through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm picking Crispy.
I'm going to go with Owen. If I had to choose which of these two armies I wanted to play, I would love to play the Herd in this matchup.
It's cool.
Because I would have the speed advantage. I would have the ability to hit with enough attacks. And there's nothing in the Night Stalker list that's higher than defense 4, really.
Right.
So I can burn through them.
And Owen doesn't care about shooting. He's like, you have stealthy. That's nice talk, right?
So if it was me, I want to pilot Owen's list, and for that reason, I am, for the second time this evening, voting Shambling Horde.
I'm
writing this
down. I swear to God.
This is actually a horde on horde.
This is horde on horde crime. Yeah.
Matchup number 7. Come on, let's kick it. Elves. Oh, goody. Okay. So, that is Mr. Long over there, our only Northern Lights player for some reason. I honestly don't know.
Do you want to talk about Mike's list there, Ben? And
I
I'll
will
do
go through Mike's list. I've seen this many times, and this is your fault, by the way, Ray. I mean, being his father as well. I mean, you should have raised him better, for Christ's sake.
Awkward. It's getting real weird around here.
You didn't hear about this at Crossroads? Mike
I wasn't there.
up.
I don't know about people's parentage. Let's just. Right.
Okay. We've got 2 units of clan warriors. We've got 2 hordes of ice naiads. I'm not a big fan of these guys, but screw them. They get spears. We got the 2 hordes of the flappy birds. We have a cavern dweller. Yes, somebody who plays Northern Alliance will take a cavern dweller. He's been known to play up to 3 of these. We've got an ice queen with heal and bing chant. We've got an ice blade. Look out for this bastard. He will kill you with the wings of the honey maze. We've got Scald, because Scald is just good, and a Lord on the Chimera, because yet again, a Lord on Chimera is a damn good thing.
Really is.
How about you there, Mike? You want to rip through the elves really quick because you're a dwarf player?
I can't read that.
2 Palace Guard regiments, Forest Guard regiments, 2 Glade Stalker troops, not regiments. Kindred Archer Horde with Fire Oil, which will matter. 2 Standard Bearers, Dragon Kindred Lord, and the Formation. So it's your prototypical elf list. Formation, a dragon, which is abnormal, some archers, some Forest Guard, some Palace Guard. I like my dad's chances in this one there, Ben. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to Icarus, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I will never forget that at Crossroads.
So,
look, I'm a big elf fan.
Wait, story time. Went to Crossroads. Cory's wife thought that Mike was my dad, so she asked if he was, and that's been the running joke for I think like 2 years now, because it was 2 years.
In fact, that's what his name is in our group chat.
I love Melissa for so many reasons. Oh yeah, and that's one more.
I'd also like to point out the fact that both Mike and I, like, drank beers next to your dad.
Oh, right,
yeah, at San Antonio Masters.
Right, and then at one of Ben's get-togethers, Mike and my dad played a game, and whoever won was parentage over me, and they both decided that they didn't want parentage, so they drew. So
they actually ended the game in a tie.
That's amazing.
We have pictures of that somewhere.
We do. But I'm going with Mike. I think the Ice Naiads are great. I think actually the key will be the Ice Blade, because Duelist tripling attacks will eat whichever elf.
Tripling attacks.
Yeah.
No. I actually think that I think that Jeff's gonna have a tough time, only because Mike has a pair of the hordes of birds. So the Jeff doesn't have a clear speed advantage with his Dracons, right? And I think that if Mike uses the birds to control board space and buy himself some time, that I think he's actually going to win the game.
I'm going to say the thing that nobody says about the elves. I think their formation is absolute crap. I think that the 12, 14 of those guys, they can get shot down really damn fast, especially around here. Like, honestly, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Jeff, I love you playing elves. They're one of my favorite armies. I've won tournaments with elves. I really do like elves. Unfortunately, you're going against LaHaye, and he played Cavern Dwellers when they were bad and made people pay for it. So I'm going to take LaHaye all day. My godfather.
What's Cory picking?
I agree. Northern Alliance, I think, is a rough matchup for Huggy Bear, but it'd be nice if Huggy can pull it out, but I don't. It's an uphill battle for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like it, right? I don't know. I mean, we're talking about like, there's going to just shoot him, but with what? The ice bombs?
No. I mean, I just mean the formation in general. I'm not. I don't mean this in this matchup. Right now, but unfortunately, like I said, I really do. I hope Jeff proves me wrong, but I think Mike's all over this one.
Probably.
I don't really like.
Could the Lord on Chimera one shot the regiments?
Yes, pretty easily.
Yeah.
10 attacks, elite, probably vicious somehow.
Vicious.
8 wounds.
The fact that they got to put freezing on any unit that they want is a huge advantage for that list. And I'll tell you, if you've never, I shouldn't tell him his all of his. No, of course I'm going to. The Ice Blade with the freezing aura on him, flying wherever the hell he wants, landing wherever the hell he wants. He'll just freeze like 6 units if he wants to.
Yeah, and all the lords get built-in Tundra Fighter. They don't have to pay for it usually.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That is possibly the best dragon in the game. Possibly.
Oh yeah, no, I think so.
He's very good.
And it has group haste. Because what's better than a speed 10 dragon? A speed 11.
Yeah. Right.
I actually didn't see that. That's new. I'm going to be playing that on Sunday. Oh, shit. All right. On to the next one. Oh, here we go.
John,
one I want to see.
Kingdom of Men versus Marcello's Green Lady. This is
Cory.
I want the drone over there, Mike. If you get the drone, 2 militia hordes, 2 bowman hordes, cav horde, 2 beast cav hordes, 2 children. Hero on Pegasus because you couldn't have a 3rd child for the sacrificial lambs, and 2 generals owning a beast. So it's almost his master's list against Marcello's 2 regiments of men-at-arms, Order of Brotherhood with the Banner of the Green Lady and Blood of the Old King. Interesting. 2 Redemption regiments, 2 Forsaken hordes, 2 Pegasi, the Exemplar on horse, Avatar of the Green Lady, and Exemplar Redeemer on winged unicorn, which was a surprise.
Yeah, but still good.
So let's have Cory's thoughts on this, because Ben, you and I might be biased.
Maybe.
They're really well matched up. They both are very fast. The Order of Forsaken and the Beast Cav are pretty much cancel each other out. The 2 Pegasus and the 2 small children on winged horses. Very similar, though. In a straight up fight, the Pegasus will win. If it goes on to chaff on chaff violence. I think I may give Marcello the edge here, just given how good the cavalry and Green Lady are.
Yeah.
I think he's got better backup hammers.
What about you there,
I think I'm leaning Marcello.
Mr. Rossi.
So I'm actually looking at things that like right now, if I take a look at this, I'm actually scrolling around, I'm looking at
the list.
Yeah, but like John's got 27 unit strength.
Yeah.
Right?
It's scary how big it actually is.
So where
where
Marcello has regiments of stuff to walk around and do stuff, and he's got 24. So it's not that big of a difference, right? Just Marcello's got 2 regiments of men-at-arms, and John's got 2 hordes of bros. Right.
But those bros are hitting on 5s and defense
but 13-15 nerve versus 20-22 nerve.
True.
Right? For like another 30 points because they're just garbage. But still, it's like a giant block of nerve that stands there and goes, I got this. Right?
That's exactly the way they sound, too.
Exactly. Right. Job's done. Right. I mean, and then if you look at like everything else kind of evens out. To be honest, the Order of Redemption from Marcello are so good.
Yes.
Yeah. They're so good.
Yes.
He's got one with brewer strength and one with brewer sharpness because, if they have a roll.
Just in general, our Order of Redemption Knights are just really good.
They're amazingly good. I'm trying to find a reason to go with John, and I'm grasping at straws. Like literally, Marcello has played this list for 3 years. He knows what he's doing. The list is brutal. He's going to do work. I guarantee he's going to be on table 1, round 4.
Probably. I mean, the man is good, but after he loses to John, we'll see what happens from there. Oh, love you, Marcello. However, John will find ways to win.
You're talking crazy.
I may
he
be.
beats schlubs like you and me. He doesn't beat machines like Marcello and Ray.
I've played Marcello. I've played him, unfortunately, only the once. and it was I got my ass tabled. I am. I did. I'll be like, what the hell? But I'm sorry. I know John will be in the thick of it. I will take John over Marcelo, just because I think John will be locked in and.
Maybe.
Then again, he might not. He may show up and go, fuck it.
Maybe I have a Pennsylvania bias. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, but no, I'm still going to go with John. It's the mustache. I mean, how can you? It's kind of like when Bughazi shows up with that hair. I mean, you just can't. You just got to kind of stare at it for a while, and then all of a sudden,
you look at Joe's hair. It's his biceps. What are we even saying?
Oh, I know. That is one hell of a man. That is, if Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott had a love child, that's what he would look like, Joe Bughazi.
Like
wow, this got homoerotic really bad.
Okay,
totally did.
I think actually,
Ray's like, can we move this along? Let's move it along.
I think the thing that's missed on John's list is actually that he has 2 generals on Wing and Beast.
Yeah.
Against one exemplar redeemer. I think John's going to have to be careful because, like, they're both great players, and this would be my number 1 pick for matchup that I'd want to watch, because they are pretty much even down the board.
Yeah, both really damn good players.
But
both damn good players.
I think going back to, I'd much sooner do Owen's herd. I'd much sooner have Marcelo's list in this matchup than I would John's. So I'm going to go with Marcelo, as much as it pains me, and I'm going to quickly go.
That might also be because you've also played this list.
I played both of them, and I played both of these armies, and Marcelo's is the one that would scare me more.
One thing to consider also is the fact that John, John has more hordes, he's also everyone's gonna have an extra horde clogging up your lines. So
but
there's a lot of space.
So
but like those 2 bowman hordes and those 2 militia hordes do not fly. So they're stuck kind of like. You only have
everyone run around with 5 hordes. Didn't you? You and I have practice with that, Corey.
I understand. I'm fine with it, but not everyone can. And we also play in the Northeast, so we have terrain on our tables. So you got to deal with it.
All right, going on to matchup number 9. Oh, we got Ren and Alex. Sorry.
Oh, you misspelled it. Alex with a K.
Alex with a K.
Oh, Alex with a K.
Yeah, this is Eric's son.
Yes.
League of Rortia
against
Ren's Varinger. And this was one of the ones that was pretty neat because he has a 4-drop advantage. He has a 4 unit strength advantage. So he clearly wants to play something where that matters. 2 spear phalanx, hordes, crossbow block, knights, honor guard, volley gun. Like it's your well-rounded. I built this using historicals with a few like wizards on board to make it look. Against friends, I have Hearthguard, Mounted Sons of Korgan with Brand of the Warrior. I don't see that one often. Brutal. Cav, Cavendreller, Magnus, 2 lords.
What about with the aura giving brutal? Yeah. So double stacking brutal around.
Yep, it's brutal +1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. I really like that change a lot.
I do too.
It's so good.
Am I wrong in thinking Varanger's got the they have regen as one of their, or that's just normal?
So not sure. Fun fact, Ren only has 7 scoring units.
Yeah.
So he has the lowest number of drops, and of that, 3 of them don't score.
Yeah. Ren is his own man, and he won't care, and he'll run some people down, and he'll have a good time playing it. Oh yeah, he's gonna lose this hard. I love you, Ren, but I'm sorry, buddy. I'm feeling you're not taking this one out.
I'll be honest. I played Ren, and both times I played Ren, it has been a hard game, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm always like, I got this. I play Varinger all the time. I beat Cory. Oh my God, why am I losing half my crap? Like he literally. Yeah. Right. I don't know what it is, but I always am like, and on turn 4, I have a little like walk around around the hall. I have to rethink what I'm doing. The other thing too is that Ren, yes, only has 7 scoring units, but I think he's planning on having more scoring units than his opponent at the end of the game.
He
Right.
is.
So I just double checked. So you have the Vanguard 2 commands are you do get regeneration.
Yeah, I thought so.
5+.
Yeah.
And the other one is you can give brutal +1. So you can stack brutal 3
Right.
on a unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really good against things with defense 6 because you just go in, do some damage, add 3.
Yay, 3 wounds
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ren came second in our last tournament, Christmas Carnage. Did it with style. Did it with basically this army, and if he gets moving, those feet don't stop, and I'll tell you, he will run you down. He'll run you down hard.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do think this time around, I'm not entirely sure. I think he might submarine the rest of this, and he'll still end up second overall because that's what Ren's going to do. He's coming up he's going down to come his way back up again. I think this is going to be a skin of a teeth thing, but God damn it, Ren, 10 units. Like, come on, just give me one more drop and I would have picked him.
Well, I gotta say, like, it in a world where he's just tripling down on brutal, and I understand, like, if I touch you, I kill you. Like, it's totally cool. But Alex has a regiment of crossbows, 2 volley guns, and a battle shrine.
Yeah.
And a couple wizards.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. One has lightning bolt 3, and the other one has heal. So he has a wizard, right? But cool. Like, he's got a little bit of chaff to like keep Ren off him while he just shoots him and zaps him and stuff.
But
Ren
2 hordes
does
of
not play this
spear phalanx, which means that the Mountain Suns, when they hit him, they're hitting him on 5. So get 6 hits. Like, even if both the Mountain Suns hit the spear phalanx and use the brutal 3
and 4s.
No, 4s, right? Because they normally hit on 3s.
and snare and phalanx.
Oh, the spear hordes have ensnare and phalanx.
Spears can be upgraded to ensnare. Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they won't
you hit him in the front.
If you hit him,
right? Like I don't know. Like I think that if Alex can play the chaff and shoot game, Ren's not going to make it with all of his stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the one thing I'm thinking is, if the guns go off, and there's always a chance that those guns go off, you can spin them out really damn fast. You take out 2 units, and this army's just like.
I mean, to be honest, Ben, even if he takes out 1, like be down 4 unit strength and try to win, or down 3 unit strength and try to win. You know what I mean?
That's probably why if I was running this list, Ren's list, I probably would, because I know I can add a second brutal with the command dice. I probably would have had the Lord running stealthy to try to keep my guys alive in order to make it to him.
Yeah, but that's not the Buffalo style. The Buffalo style is run straight the way in. It's the plight of the 700 cannon to the left of them, cannon to the right of them, cannon in front of them,
right,
like into the valley of death. And you know what? A lot of the times he comes back.
Ben, you're going with Alex, Cory.
I'm going to go with Alex, and Ren is going to slap me silly.
I'm going with Alex too.
I'm going with Ren.
Good for you.
I'm going to go with Ren because I think there's going to be some liquid courage to like force the courage there.
Wow, you really are just relying on bourbon to do the work.
Yeah, well, he's bringing a lot of bourbon. Let's just put it that way.
Seriously. All right, here we go.
All right, we've got our buddy Joel going against Noah. Joel is Kingdoms of Men. He is Mike, you're going to love this one. You're going to love this army. It is, God damn it, Greek mythology. What the hell is it? Clash of the Titans, 1980 something.
No.
Based on that, it is
nice.
Gorgeous. Wait until you see this man. Tell me you brought him. Tell me you brought him. Tell me you brought him.
I wanted a mechanical owl, and I want it immediately.
Oh, you don't know how many times I've mentioned this in the chat with him. Anyway, he's got 2 spear hordes. You got 2 units of bowmen, 2 beast cavalry, 2 giants. Wait until you see these giants. They're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm not kidding. A standard bearer, a wizard,
loot,
a captain, a Pegasus. Sorry, 2 Pegasus. So we got 2 heroes that are just going to fly around because you need somebody to be Jason to bring around that turn everybody to Stonehead.
Now, is Joel the one running the absolute best zombie horde?
Yes, because
I'm
not sure.
Yes, he's done it in full, like Jason and the Argonauts style.
Yes.
With the,
Yeah, and I think the only thing it's missing is the actual clockwork.
Oh, I cannot wait.
No,
Oh,
no,
that
like,
is-
I'm
that is- I am
not
intrigued,
kidding.
dude.
When you see the giants, you'll know. You'll walk by and you'll go, "That's Zeus," and then you'll walk over. It is gorgeous.
but
Gorgeous.
his zombie horde is like Jason and the Argonauts, like as they come to the sand and they fight the skeletons.
Skeletons. Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
done that. It
The
is
skeletons
awesome.
look terrible.
It is worthy of note. Pay attention. I will take a picture and post
That is
it.
cool. Right. A Ray Harryhausen wet dream. I'm totally down with it.
Yeah.
Joel is he is the everyman. He is fantastic. I love this man.
I'm super glad he's coming down, to be
So
honest.
am I am so glad that he's coming along with us. I really am. I love Joel. He'll be here on Sunday. He'll be here practicing because he's really starting to get back into the shit. I get to see that fucking army one more time before he goes down there. Oh, it's so good.
So
Right.
he's going against Noah.
Let's talk about Noah's. Let's talk about Noah's Ratkin list.
2 claw shots, 2 nightmare hordes,
As you do.
vermintide, tunnel runners, 2 regiments, 1 with sharpness, night terror, because I love the night terror, even if no one else does. Tangle, Stormcrier, Broodmother, Kryza, and Scud, because everyone needs to take Scud. It's just what you do.
Fuck Scud.
He's
So
great.
this is a bit of a different Ratkin list. It's a shooting Ratkin list.
Yeah.
I've tried to like nightmares, and I don't like them. Melee 4, they should stay up with rally on them, and they just die so quick for the points. I'd much rather have just another horde of rats over the nightmares. Their shooting is kind of mediocre because there's no pierce.
Yeah.
It's meh. Like I don't like nightmares. I've tried to like nightmares and I can't do it.
I like nightmares. I'm a big fan of the night terror. I think the thing the night terror is actually missing and should have it is ensnare. I don't see why it does not have it. But yeah, I'm actually a fan of the Sorry, did he take the standard bearer or not?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so he's getting elite,
Yes.
right? Which I think still counts for something.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the shooting does have piercing 1, so I mean, like,
Oh, does it?
No,
I'm pretty sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
That's me being
Yeah.
an elite. All right,
No.
don't worry about it. I have tried Ratkin. I don't play a lot of them. I should do better with them. I don't, but I do like nightmares. Maybe that's my problem.
It's funny. Every time I look at a Ratkin list, I'm like, how are these guys not winning every tournament? And I'm missing something, right?
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Just saying. Right?
Yeah, it's like if you've gone to Masters and took like 4 hordes of
You play no one with
Cav,
Cav, and you have 40 points in phalanx and play no one with Cav, right? Right.
Well,
Corey?
that's a downside, right?
No,
all right.
I only played Ratkin at Crossroads, and I played everybody with Cav, and it was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to happen because I don't have any calves. So screw you.
It's the reason why I have this in my house.
So
I don't know what to know.
I'm going to vote for Noah just because I'm going to have faith that he has seen something. He's been playing Ratkin Slaves, which is like playing Ratkin on hard mode forever and ever.
Very
So
true.
to switch to this, like this army is like a power boost. And he's been like scraping by at 500 with Ratkin Slaves. So there we go. Noah's my choice.
All right, Corey.
I actually think I'm gonna go Joel. Flyers and quite a lot of shots, and 2 hordes of bowmen are a bunch of shots, and tunnel runners are tall and easily shot, in my opinion. So, and I don't like nightmares, so I'm gonna go Joel.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike.
I'm actually going to go Joel too, but I think the key is going to be the fact that he has 2 giants. Those are defense 5, 18, 20. They're very hard to bring down, and when they touch stuff, they murder stuff, and they move 7. So, like, God forbid for Noah, Joel goes first, right? Because it's like, you want to shoot me? That's really cool. You can't shoot me if I put a club up your butt, you know?
Well, both of his giants seem to have rampage. So you know what? Joel, I love you, buddy. I'm going to go with you, mate. I really do think that Joel he's going to be either 1 and 4 or 2 and 3, and I'm going to choose this as one of those. So, Joel, don't let me down here, buddy. All right, on to the next one.
Alex Coos, Night Stalkers.
Well, we have someone coming. I think he's a new player. I think his name it's Alex K. Alex Cuss.
I haven't heard of this dude.
I haven't heard of this guy. He's like out of nowhere. He contacted us. It's something about finally leaving his house and being locked up in a basement or something. I don't know. He said he's never seen the light of day. And
no, I read a story. It's called Alex Coos and the Seven McCreadys. and they is that not a story I read? Maybe.
I think that's Canadian folklore. I think that's
okay.
Right.
Yeah, checks out.
A lot of McCready's. That's
That-
funny.
So
that is not my joke. That is a Noah.
That is the Noah.
Noah joke. I want to point that out. Give
All right.
respect to Noah.
I
right.
think he's borrowing this army because I don't think he's painted Night Stalkers ever.
He hasn't finished the saddles on his Kingdoms of Men. It can't happen. Anyway, go on.
Two Scarecrow regiments, Tormentor troop, 2 Butcher hordes, 2 Shadowhound regiments, Soul Flayers, 2 Mind Screeches with heal, so the planers, 2 Shadow Hawks, and Shakira, because I can't pronounce her name.
Because you should.
Against Will's Forces of Abyss, which is an interesting Forces of Abyss. 2 Lower Abyssal hordes, 2 Gargoyle troops, 2 Moloch hordes, the Cronius, Abyssal Warlock, Will of Souls, and the Formation.
Oh, fantastic. Will, whenever you get, if Will hears this at any point in time, come seek one of us out. I would really love to know why you're taking Molochs instead of those other idiots, Berserkers.
My guess is he has them painted.
I'm not saying they're bad. I just want to hear his opinion on Molochs. That's all.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that being said, look, Alex is still Alex. He's playing an army that I think he will actually play quite well. He knows what command dice are, I think. As long as we keep him out of the sun and he doesn't, dissolve into dust, look, Alex is still a damn good player. And yeah, I'm actually giving him praise, so I'm gonna burn in hell for saying any of this.
Just stop.
Yeah,
Stop it.
I'm gonna pick Will.
Wow.
Well,
No,
That's beast.
come on. No, I really think Alex is coming out, and I think he's gonna do well in this. So
Well,
I will begrudgingly.
you can vote for Alex. I'm going to vote for Will because I played him first round at Crossroads. I thumped him, and it's his turn to get revenge on a Canadian. And Alex, you're the next one up on that list for Will. So, sucks to be you.
It's funny because every time Bill has a way of, I'm going to go play Mike Ireland. And it's like, okay, well, enjoy your loss. And it's like, how'd you do? I smashed his face. I'm like, what are you even saying? Right. But other things where I'm like, you got this in a bag, dude. You got it in a bag. And they'll come back to me and goes, well, I couldn't get the thing to break. And next thing you know, I lost my entire army. And what can you do? Right. So like, I don't know what's going to happen. Right. With Bill, there are 2 Bills in there. Right. Everybody has 2 Bills within them. Right.
Well, Bill has a Bill and a Hank Jackson.
That's right. Whoever Bill
comes,
Jackson shows up.
Deadly.
Right. So
all right. Well, you can call a tie if you want to call a tie.
No. Alex is so good. And he's like, he's not even underrated good. He's rated good. Like everyone knows Alex.
Yeah, but that was 2 editions ago.
I'm gonna have a tough time, right? The only thing that has kept us safe is the fact that he stays in his basement and doesn't come outside. But now that he's out roaming around, it's a serious problem. So, right.
So, all right, Cory.
Yeah, their Shadowhawks are gonna cause a problem.
Yeah,
they are.
I vote for Cusferatu.
That might be the new best. Okay, I love this. All right, we are going into another Trident Realm player. Oh, somebody else playing the best army in the game. All right,
Greg's playing Trident Realm, but he plays it not like Ben.
That's because I play it correctly and everybody else plays it wrong.
Fool Regiment with haste, 2 Heart Piercers, 2 River Guard with javelins. Surprising, a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
Ocean Naiad Worm Riders with Brew of Strength, River Guard Dambusters, Brew of Sharpness, 2 Leviathan Banes, a Kraken with the upgrade, the Envoy, and the Worm Rider Centurion.
Wow. I love the Worm Rider. I honestly do.
Well,
the Centurion is fantastic. Sorry. Jordan.
Abyssal Dwarfs, Black Souls, 2 Immoral Guards, 2 Gargoyles, 2 Lesser Obsidian Golem Hordes, 2 Rocket Launchers, the Mortar, the Hellfane, 2 Iron Casters, and 2 Hex Casters. Ooh. Yeah. Jordan has, out of curiosity, 15 drops, 23 unit strength against 12 drops and 23 unit strength. So they're actually the same for unit strength.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. There's 2 things that Trident Realm hate, and that is elite and vicious. If you get to reroll anything against a Trident Realm player, surprise, you will win 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
The moment you add that in, that is Trident Realms by far. It is their Achilles heel. It is any sort of reroll. So that being said, you're trying to outshoot, unfortunately, an Abyssal player. The Abyssal player, yes, you've got a little more distance on your shooting, but not a lot more distance on your shooting. I'm a big fan of Trident Realm players. Unfortunately, after he shoots down the Kraken, it'll be kind of a thumping at this point in time. I hope I'm wrong. Greg, come see me. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. Really, but Jordan, I think this is his game to win. With the weakness and the rerolls on the vicious and all the rest of that, I don't think you can outshoot the Abyssal player. Anybody else? Cory, let's go with you, mate.
Yeah, the long range shooting is just, if it's on, it's on, and he's taking rocket launchers, so you do get at least more dice if you're just going heavy mortars. But those damn hexcasters are such a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
because they're doing wounds, same thing as the crone. They're hitting you with stuff, and they're making you weak. It's got a nice wall of def 6 with the obsidian golems. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for young Greg. I'm gonna go with Jordan.
Yep, Mr. Michael.
I want to go. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think that Greg, if he plays smart, because Greg, every time I played Greg, he's played like super Zerg, coming at you. Now we're fighting, and there's nothing you can do about it kind of list. This doesn't strike me as that type of a list.
No.
Right. And so, but I also don't know what the man does. I only see him like once a year. So who knows? Maybe he's smoking everybody with this thing. Maybe. But Jordan, it seems like, just looking at the list, has a better chance of winning, especially since I think Jordan's list is kind of relatively light on unit strength, but Greg's is just as average as Jordan's is. Jordan will spend the entire tournament saying how shitty his army is and how bad Kings of War is while he wins. So like, that's my prediction, to be honest, right?
So I'm going to go with Greg. Because there's a 1/3 chance that it's a token scenario along the center line, and there's nothing in Jordan's list that can actually get to the center tokens other than the gargoyles.
That's certainly, he's pretty slow.
That's true.
The one thing we don't know is what the first scenario is going to be. So Greg, prove me wrong, buddy.
So I'm going to go on that 1/3 chance for scenario, and
it's also possible that, like, if he has bad artillery, that's a lot of his
a lot of his points are tied up in artillery and single caster units, right? So if Greg goes after a couple of the units that give unit strength, right, and try to like remove a couple of those, he's got an advantage in a lot of the scenarios. Right.
That Centurion, as Ray knows, that Centurion is hard as hell to get rid of.
He hangs around way too long. Yeah,
he just does not die with the regen and everything else. He is a pain in the ass. The Hexcasters, the biggest between
but it's also the Worm Riders have Brew of Strength for Crush 2 with Brutal. Dam Busters crush 1, Thunderous 2 with sharpness, so they hit on 3s. Like, he has some can openers. Greg, at the end of this, I want to discuss your River Guard choice because
So do I.
Javelins.
I really do want to talk to this guy.
They kind of suck. We're going to go to number 13. So Brian Kingdoms of Men, Chet Kingdoms of Men. Both have spear phalanx. Brian has Foot Guard with Brew of Strength. Surprising. Beast Cab ×2. Ballista ×2. Giant, Wizard, Captain. Hero on Pegasus, and 2 Generals on Winged Beast against 2 Spear Phalanx. Knights. 2 Beast Cab. Charioteer. Ooh, Charioteers are new for Chet. 2 Wizards, but he gives them stuff instead of having them as cheap chaff. Hero on Pegasus and 2 Generals on Winged Beast. And for the abnormal thing, he has the Monarch, which I have never seen before. So should be cool.
Monarch's good.
Is it? I've actually never seen it played. So
I don't know if it's good for the price point, but I know that it's good. It does work.
Well, it's 10 attacks, crush 3, command, very inspiring. Slayer 3, so it gets 13 attacks, which is the magical number, Ben.
It's good.
Fuck 13 attacks. Well, damn, this is.
I'm gonna think we have to bet because I just played him and he played super awesome and went 4 wins and a tie at Nerdhammer. So he clearly knows what he's doing and he knows what he's doing with this list. So he's my choice.
Well, I think I have to go with Chet, don't I? Isn't that sort of what I have to do?
Yeah.
Since you a Canadian adopted him, I guess.
Since we Canadian adopted him. I'm told Chet is good, so I'm not saying that Brian.
Chet is good. It's my.
I can't wait to give him a shirt.
Wow, that is borderline shade. I heard somewhere that he's okie dokie, I guess.
Yeah, I heard he's okay.
Wow.
Have you met me? I mean, come on.
You're awful.
That's right. I am. My foot is firmly stuck in my mouth and gone through so I can walk. No, I'm going to go with Chet here. I really want to see how this Monarch plays. I would love to talk to a couple of these people about the formation for Kingdoms of Men. I think there might be some length there. Beast Cab is absolutely fucking everywhere. But I think I will go with Chet for this. Yeah, just guess. Mr. Cory.
Yeah, I think it seems like Chet's list is a little bit more tuned up. And tournament ready, where I love the Giant in there.
Me too.
For Brian's list, and Brian's such a good dude. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna give it to Chet, just because I think the Monarch is gonna come in as the third big flyer.
Yeah.
In there, I think it's gonna
an extra piece of pressure, right?
Yeah.
Because you can throw it in one more fight than Brian has answers to.
Right. It's funny because I think that Brian probably has a decent chance of losing this one and then going another 4 wins.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid list.
Yeah, that is solid, and Brian knows what he's doing.
He does.
Right? He's really a player.
So does that mean, Mr. Rossi, you will be taking Brian on this?
No. I'm taking Chet in the first round, but I think that Brian's going to ruin everyone else's day afterwards.
Right. I actually think the Kings of Men are going to turn out really well in this tournament. I think they're all going to end up quite high up.
Yeah, because it's 4 really good lists run by 4 really good players. And Ben, get ready to play Brian Ring second round.
Not a problem. Me and him on the bottom table. You got it.
Number 15,
Bart and Jake drove 15 hours to come and play each other. Into random draws, right?
But who can complain about playing against Bart? I'd love to play against
nobody.
him.
I love Bart.
I mean,
but like you say, when you do a lot of driving, the last thing you want to do in the first couple of rounds is play the guy that you could have played 15 minutes down the street.
I mean, they're not that close.
Yeah, they really aren't.
Bart's in Jersey,
right?
2 Scarecrows, 2 Hordes, 2 Tormentors, Butchers, Soul Flares, Mind Screeches, Portal of Despair, 2 Butcher Flesh Rippers, and 2 Dread Fiends. everything in Bart's list scores, which is why he
Yeah.
has 28 unit strength
Yeah.
against Jake's. Jake's 11 drops compared to Bart's 16, 19 unit strength compared to 28. We talked about 4 being like a difference. I think 9 unit strength is something to note. That being said, Spirit Walkers with Brew of Haste, 2 Braywire Centurion Hordes, Wild Gur Panther troops, Minotaur Chariot Regiment, 2 Beast Cav, Beast of Nature, Great Chieftain, Druid, and Moonfang.
Yeah.
So of the 11, only 9 score. So
but I don't know. The only thing I don't like about the Night Stalker list is the 2 regiments of scarecrows, and I know that
I like them.
See,
Yeah.
I know what they're there for and everything else. I just think the army's missing maybe a little bit of punch. I love the soul flares. I love the butchers. I like the mind screeches. Portal of Despair is something you actually don't see a lot of Night Stalker players take. I actually really like them. I mean, I'm probably wrong. At some point, I'm going to pick Night Stalkers up myself.
Yeah, the butcher flesh rippers do a lot of work for a very small footprint. They're excellent at going in with something else and just adding enough enough of those wounds to push combats in your favor. Same thing with and Dread Fiends are amazing. Always have been, always will be.
Yeah.
Well,
it's interesting. I'm looking at Jake's list, and he has 2 hordes of Centaur Bray Striders, right? 24 attacks, and he has a horde of Spirit Walkers with 30 attacks. Everything's hitting on 3s, so it's like boatloads of wounds all over the place. He also doesn't have any shooting to speak of, so take your stealthy and shove it. The real thing is because of the difference in the number of drops, Bart's going to know what Jake's doing, right? And we'll have 4 or 5 drops to respond, right? So if he reserves a couple of his faster units, he'll be able to dictate terms. But that being said, the Horn of the Great Migration, when he's got 2 Cav Hordes at speed 8, an Infantry Horde at speed 7, a bunch of other stuff at 10, which bumps all those things up to 11. Yeah. Right. And so it's like
all those are very good.
Yeah.
But Bart is also, he can play the Wind Blast game where you can, like, I've set up, combo charges, and now that unit's just out.
Right.
Oh, I've set up this. Oh, now you're just out.
Right.
Like, he's got enough of the Wind Blast to, like, play havoc with a little
be annoying. Yeah.
Thanks. I love Wind Blast, by the way.
Yeah, Wind Blast is fantastic. It honestly is.
Yeah.
Wind Blast 22.
Sorry, what was that?
He has Wind Blast 22, so it's not even like a little Wind Blast.
No, he's got
bullets.
Yeah.
All right, on the Wind Blast thing alone, and only on the Wind Blast thing alone, maybe. I'm not sure that Jake's got enough to take out everything that he's got. I'm going to take Night Stalkers on this one. What about you there, Mr. Ray?
I'm going to go with Night Stalkers on this one. I don't like the Centurion Bray Striders for their points, like 300 points.
Yeah, they're
defense 4. They're underwhelming. Take up a lot of footprint, hard to do the double charges. I actually really like the Spirit Walkers in no one's list, but I'm going to go with Bart, and then Jake can participate in the submarining with the Kingdoms of Men and you, Ben.
Thanks, man. Mr. Michael.
Bart's list is good. I love Jake.
But you love Bart too.
I do love Bart too, right?
But you can go for a tie.
No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I know, phone. I'm out of time. So what my suggestion, I actually think that Bart, because of the number of drops and the fact that he can really push a lot of units around, I think that Bart probably has a pretty decent chance of beating Jake, right? So,
Just because those footprints on the centaurs,
so big.
like I can
They're a little big.
one of those flesh rippers goes up and goes kunk, hey, and now everything's stacked up.
Sit down, or come and fight me and get 90 or 130 points, and then everything goes in and eats that unit, right? I mean, that's going to be a problem.
Def 4 is a thing.
In a game where trading pieces matters, Bart's going to have plenty of pieces to trade.
Yeah.
Right. So.
All right. On to table 15.
Getting close.
15. Empire of Dust versus Varangur. 2 mummy regiments, 2 enslaved guardian hordes, 2 scavenger regiments, 2 bone giants, rampage on each, surprising. Monolith, Shobek, and the flying worm. 4 units of the tribesmen, 2 with Hearthguard, Pipes of Terror, and an infantry horde. Interesting. 2 Mountain Suns, 2 Tundra Wolves, Magnil, and 2 Lords on Frostfang. So both of them have 11 drops.
I love how often Ray went, interesting. As if like, why would you do that to yourself or others, right? For both their lists.
Well, I remember looking at this earlier today, and I was like, this is the classic case of the immovable object with Empire of Dust against the unstoppable force with Varangur. Yeah. And I like earlier today, I was like, the Varangur has it. And today I'm like, no, Empire of Dust has it. I'm like, I don't know. So it's not like, what would you do to yourselves with this list? It's like, I don't know how this matchup is going to work because you have 2 armies that are like opposites in terms of what they want to do.
It's Hogan and Warrior in WrestleMania 4 all over again. It's my childhood, damn it.
Not Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan?
No, in 2, screw that. No, they did that like 3 times in Japan before any of that shit. Come on.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. So the interesting thing about both of these lists is that they both have 11 drops and they both have the same number of unit strength, right? And so normally I'd be like, wow, it's really tight, 11 drops. What are you supposed to do with that? But like, it's the same. The other thing is that I'm looking at, I'm looking at Joe's list, right? He's got 2 Hearthguard regiments. So they put out some damage, 20 attack seeds, right? Yeah, quite a bit. And then he's got 2 Mounted Suns that do work. And he's got 2 Lords on Frostfang that can jump in and help out and do work, right? So and Magnil, they can fly around and be a jerk, right?
And don't like Tundra Wolves put out. I mean, he's going out troops, but they're getting away. They're fast. They can do decent work. But a horde of just the normal tribesmen are legit. They're defense 5 with crush 1.
Right.
Like it is one of the better with a solid nerve. Like they are one of the better melee 3. Like they are one of the better like hordes of just dudes.
Yeah, it's true.
The only thing the Varangur army is missing is somebody with rally.
Yes.
The fact that the Hearthguard can now, if you roll enough dice, they can get regen, makes them scary as fuck.
Agreed.
Like between that and those 2, I think Joe's going to tear up a bunch of people who are not going to expect how hard he can hit, how fast he can hit, where he can hit, and the fact that you'll do a bunch of damage on something and he'll get that regen off. And you'll be like, shit, what am I going to do now? Yeah. So I'm taking Joe here. I love Empire of Dust, but I think this is Joe's to lose.
I'm really hoping that Joe has had a little bit of practice with command dice, so he knows to what to do with those. Because I think the Varangur commands are really legit.
I do too.
That being said, I put Jeff in the top 3 for painting, and probably top 3 for sports. Right? Even no matter what the weekend is, like Jeff is totally like super happy to be here. People are usually happy to play him, and his armies are gorgeous, right? And so he really goes for the soft side of the hobby.
Are these Jeff's or is he using Robbie's?
I don't know. I know that he was. I mean, it's tough to tell. We're in this giant horde group chat, and there's a lot of cryptic stuff coming out of Jeff. Usually, like, working on a secret project, bros, right? And so I don't know what I'm going to be looking at when I see this stuff. To be honest, you know what I mean. But last I thought it was elves. What do I know?
Well, maybe these are elf-looking.
Yeah, it could be Robbie stuff, which would be fine because it's still Robbie shit's gorgeous.
Yes.
So I take it you're taking Joe over Jeff on this then.
I'm going to take Joe over Jeff. I think
I'm
that
also
Joe's.
taking Joe.
Yeah, I think that Joe's going to run into stuff, destroy it, and Jeff's going to go, I didn't expect that. Whoa, right? And like give Joe high fives while Joe's taking all the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, right? That's what he does.
I feel sorry for the poor bugger who's got to play me round one. Oh, wait. Anyway, so Ray, you're the last one here. Are we making it clean?
I like flip a coin. I think the defense 6 is hard. I wish the Berenger had a Bane Chant in it because you have a lot of Crush 1, but Crush 1 against defense 5 mummies doesn't cut it.
And the Hearthguarder Crush 2.
Yep.
But not the Horde and Regiment. So
no, but the Mounted Sons are Crush 1, Thunder 1.
And one of them's Crush 2,
Well,
Thunder 1.
The interesting thing here is I actually think that Jeff has the casket on the 2 mummy regiments, right? And that's cool. But in this particular mashup, it'd be really cool if you had like casket on some skeletons to run up, die, and then begin the counterpunch. You know what I mean? But I think there's something to be said for having something so tough run up and be like, deal with me. It's going to take you 2 turns, or you have to overcommit to do it, and then my second line will punch you. But we'll have to see.
Enslaved Guardians are good. Enslaved Guardians like put out a good amount of hurt, but
we'll see what happens. So but immovable object, unstoppable force. So basically, should be a good match.
This will be tighter than I think other ones are going to be. To be honest.
Yes.
Speaking of difficult matchups, we have Greg Pearson with dwarfs against some idiot playing
Grub.
This. Greg's doing 2 Iron Guard regiments, Berserker Troop, Shieldbreaker Horde, 2 Sharpshooter Troops, Earth Elementals with Brew of Sharpness, Organ Guns, Steel Behemoth, Battle Driller, Storm Priest, Flame Priest, and Faber.
He's really good.
Faber's fantastic.
Idiot is taking 2 Abyssal Guard Troops, 2 Succubi Regiments, 2 Abyssal Berserker Regiments, 2 Hordes, Cav with Blood of the Old King, Seductress, Berserker Apostate, Warlock, and Zuzu the Betrayer.
So this guy playing Forces of Abyss didn't win Nerdhammer and has now said that Berserkers aren't as good as he originally said they were. So I'm obviously a little weary about this Ray something. Sunshine, Swords.
Son of Mike LaHaye. Ray Sunshine's the son of Mike LaHaye.
So tough. Ray LaHaye.
No, I mean, Greg's a great player.
But wait a minute, Ben. I want to play the meta thing here. So Greg sends me a message literally like 4 days ago.
Okay.
He goes, "Oh my God, is there still room at Dead of Winter?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think we have like a couple of things." Like, okay, good. Can I get in? I'm like, "Yeah, just go buy yourself a ticket." So he buys a ticket, and he immediately goes, "All right." So we recorded Unplugged Radio last night, right?
Wait a minute, you still do that?
Yeah, I swear to God, it's whatever, technical difficulties. But he's like, "I really need to read the new Clash of Kings book. How do command dice work?" I'm like, "Oh no!" Right? So listen. If this was we rewind to the summertime, Ray, I would say that you actually have a really tough time. Greg is legit with this list. He's just great. But he's going to be going in and going, "What do these do? Right? What do these commands do?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? I can heal 1. That's pretty awesome." Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're being saved by the fact that he has a little one at home, and he hasn't had time to do much besides parent, right? Yeah,
that's your own damn fault.
Yeah, but Ray, I mean, you came in second at Nerdhammer, so stop it, right?
And yours are a little bit older, Ray.
Yeah, exactly.
1, 3, and 5.
Oh my God, no, they're not. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
The first 2 take care of the other one. What's the problem?
The 5-year-old raised the 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old raised the 1-year-old. What are you doing over there?
The 2 of them together make 8. That's fine.
Once we train the monkey butlers, they'll train the rest. I don't see what the problem is.
Oh, it's Umbrella Academy all over again.
My eldest has already claimed my Ratkin army. He's like, "Dad, that's my army." Like,
hey man, he's come out to a couple of our game days, and he's welcome every single time. So don't worry.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that being said, Greg, we love you.
Cory.
I'm actually going to take Ray in this one. Then please prove me wrong and smash the shit out of him. But I have a feeling that he's probably going to have a little trouble with clocking that. So I'm going to go with Ray here. Mostly
I
because
guarantee that I'm actually going to call it like this. Ray's going to think he's winning. Then Greg is going to claw it back in 6. And you're like, how am I losing this game? And then you're going to roll for 7 and get it. And then you're going to win. Right.
You know what? You say Greg every bloody
second
cat.
Right.
Because
Exactly
clock,
how that's
right?
going to work.
Yeah.
So does this mean if the 3 of us take Ray, does that mean Ray has to take Greg because he can't allow this thing to be?
I think it's
immediately Ray's like, that's nonsense. I can't allow.
That's fair.
I can't allow it. Yes, we all think I'm gonna win. Dun, dun, dun.
No, you never want to go in with everyone voting for it. Right?
stealing his fate, by the way.
Yeah, but
Right.
the only issue I had when I looked at Greg's list, because it's hard as nails, it shoots, it just doesn't move. Like
No, it's going to depend on but Greg's played in Masters. He's played all over the place. He can play.
You'd be surprised with how much his army moves.
Yep.
Even though it's just dwarves, like, forced march is a thing, and
I have played some great dwarf players, including losing to Mike Rossi, who I have a unwinning streak against, where I've never beat him.
Which makes no sense to me. By the way, you're a much better player than I am.
But I played Mike, I played Alex, so I played dwarfs before. You know what? It'll be a great matchup. Greg's list is amazing. His army looks amazing.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And but first time you play with command dice, it is just a pain because it eats so much time. Like I clocked out on 6, my opponent clocked out on 5 in my first game. Like, so when I'm saying I think 30% are going to clock out, if this is your first game with command dice, make that 50-60% chance that you'll clock out before 6.
Which is a whole nother discussion about whether command dice are good for the game or not.
No, so we'll go to number 17 before that.
We unfortunately don't have that time. So
Doug is coming up with Rordia, 3 groups of spear phalanx, knights, 2 honor guard, battle shrine. Maybe the ogre players should go to Rordia and play honor guard.
Sure.
Army standard bearer, 2 wizards, and 2 dukes on winged.
As well as
Arrowless.
And whatever the hell the thing's called.
Against mixed Rift Forged orcs, a horde of Rift Forged legionnaires, 2 Rift Rockers, 2 Long Axe regiments. Yay! Orcs with spears. Hellstriker horde, 2 war drums, the shrine, 2 flaggers, the Rift Forger, and the formation.
Now, once again, Rift Forge, no Nick. Love Nick. Taking the shrine, I love that. I think he is either one set of Hell Strikers or a guy on a Manticore too light. I think he needs just that little bit more reach out and touch you, or orcs are, here I come. I'm going 5 inches. Here I'm going 5 more inches. It's one of those things. I know he's taken the Rift Walkers, and sure, you can put them in different places. And oh God, they've only got 1 eye. But Nick has his way of killing a lot of stuff. I don't know enough about Rordia to say anything about this list. Like, it just does not get played anymore. That might be to his advantage. It's definitely it looks like a great list. It's got enough flying in it. It has enough to keep you back. You have to be worried about just about all of it. It's got ensnare, which is always bloody good. I don't know how to call this. I really don't know how to call this.
I do, hands down. Doug has 6 quality flying units. And the fastest thing that Nick has is 2 units that go speed 7.
Yeah.
So depending on how Doug approaches the line of death, right? If he goes in and he clumps up and rugbies it, right? Boom, smash, turn. I don't know as if Nick can handle that, right? It's not just 6 flyers; it's 6 quality flying units.
When they hit, they're going to do some serious damage.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
all right. Well, I need Nick to win. So, Nick, you better win. I'm going to take Doug.
Right.
I'm going to take
So
Nick.
that's me and Rossi for Doug here.
I'm going to take Nick. He has 2 regiments of long axe, rallied up to 15, 17.
Oh, they're damn good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't know how he's going to work it, but he's going to work it, and it's going to be a dog pile mess, and it's going to end up first call of a tie.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know how, but that's what it's going to be.
So, Dougie Fresh against Nick Ciabatta Bread. Yeah, I think Doug has the certainly the range advantage,
Yeah.
and I think if he can like weaken those one of the units that he's scared of enough where it swings one way or another, or he hot dices and picks it up, I think that's a big swing. It's always been rough with the orcs and Riftforged orcs. There's no way to really soften anything up.
No.
Where between the shrine and the couple lightning bolts on the wizards flying around, I think I'm gonna lean toward Doug.
Yeah, I think that Nick will win if Doug doesn't choose a point to attack. If he's like, I'll just attack all across the line, right? I think that Doug's going to put himself in some really bad trouble.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to have to try to spear and blow a hole, you know?
Well, Nick has his way of just killing stuff. Like the man can kill things, but
sometimes he can, and sometimes he comes in and he tries, and then he fails, and then I pick up all his stuff.
You're rude.
Takes out a lot of shit. So, all right. Anyway, what are we on to?
Number 18, second last of the night. Undead Civil War. 2 zombie regiments, wraiths, soul reapers, werewolves with brewer pace for speed 10. 2 whites, soul reaper calf with blood of the old king, because I think you'll see that all the time.
Yeah, you should.
Reverend King, 2 necromancers, vampire on Pegasus. Versus Robert, sorry, I just had to write your thing out. 2 skeleton spearman hordes, 2 referent hordes, 2 spear soul reaper regiments, death pack, gore blight, lich kings. I don't know what the Zunok the ice blood does, but yeah.
He gets extra dice if he starts putting wounds on people. I think he's similar to the
Betrayer.
Guy. I think he's similar to that. All I remember is that I've actually played against Robert and this list. It's a better list than it actually looks like. It just Robert's one of those guys that switches army way too often, and I've told him this, and to his face more than once. He should be playing probably Empire Dest at this point in time. However, he's been playing Undead for a little while now. He plays them pretty damn well, and the list, I actually quite like the way that this list played against me. This was when I was playing the Twilight Kin that would pull you in, shoot you, push you away. So on that, and the fact that I'm not a big fan of the werewolves, I really am not. Whites,
Whites are amazing.
Whites are bloody amazing.
They're crushed too, so they don't give a shit about the the spearman hordes.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not a big fan of is even though it should be better, but it's just way too many points. If you ask me, it's a vampire on the Pegasus. It's probably pointed correctly. I just think it's way too many points.
He's really good.
Yeah,
he's really good, and he scores.
Yeah, and he scores. Yeah, I think I would go with Drew on this though. I think he's got enough just to keep you back, to hold you into a position to make sure that you're going to be where he wants you to be. I just don't know how practiced he is of it. He might even be a little light with the undead, but both of them aren't exactly. How many? What's the unit strength on Drew's list there? Sorry, how many units?
They're both 12 and both like the same unit strength, 23, 24.
Yeah.
Undead need to be up to 14, 15 units, if you ask me.
I'm going to go with Robert, and I think the MVPs are going to actually be the skeleton spearman hordes. Because when I look at Drew's list, the only thing that he has that has punch is the Soul Reaper infantry. Everything else will be negated in terms of -1 to hit by the spears.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how Robert plays the regiments.
But I think the spearman hordes are the MVPs and the most important unit in Robert's list. Like, I know people would look at it and go, "Oh, it's the Soul Reaper regiments." No, it's the spearman hordes.
because they're gonna do scenario work, right? For the points, they just go grab a token and hang out on it for the rest of the game. Like, it's pretty good. I think that Drew's going to win, and the reason why I think Drew's going to win is because he's been playing this list for the past year, and he actually gets more reps in than most of us. And he also, I think, it's going to be one of those armies that's gorgeous.
Practice.
What's that?
Practice. Gosh,
I know. Who does practice? Crazy. Doesn't make any sense, right?
What about you, there, Mr. Cory?
So Drew will have everything in hand. Promptly fail to kill 3 separate units all on the same turn.
Yes.
And then lose the game.
Yes. Because he loves being like, this is going to there, 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 because I had to. And we did 6 wounds on everything, and nothing broke, and I'm like, oh no, right? Yeah, that's
when I wander up to the table. So Drew, how's it going? He'll be like, well, I'm like, shit. Then I know how this is gonna go. Thank you. You charged into a bunch of things. You didn't kill anything.
Did you know Soul River regiments are really good? I should probably take some.
They are bloody good. So what do you say? What are you saying here, Cory?
What do you think, Cory?
I'm gonna still back my man Drew, but it's probably gonna go the way I think it goes.
It's probably gonna. Yes, agreed.
Drew will play a good game and then screw himself up.
Switch it over. It's fine.
All right. So this also was a
challenge.
It was a challenge. Yep. This
So
is
you
actually
put him on the last table. Jeez.
If I was wearing a hat, my hat's off to you. His challenge was very clever. It was really great.
Because Justin does math.
Yes, Justin is so ridiculous.
Anyway. Justin has 2 fire elemental hordes, 2 earth elemental regiments, greater error, Kyrus, Bladewalker, Forest Warden, Unicorn, and the formation, which might actually be really good against Keith's Spirit Walker horde, Harpies, Lycans, Forest Shamblers, Scorchwings, Beast of Nature, Grand Chieftain, Druid, and Moonfang. I think I've seen Keith's list before.
You might have, yes.
Just maybe. Yeah. Okay. Justin sent me 2 lists a long time ago, and he said, which one do you think that I should play? And I said, Justin, play your Night Stalkers if you're not going to get any reps in. And he went, great, I'm playing Force of Nature.
Right.
That's the correct answer. That's the correct answer to that.
It is on me because in some way this is going to be my fault. However, Kyrus is an underplayed, fantastic.
He's very good.
Really good. This is the everybody talks about the Centurion with that stupid fucking harpoon. This is better. This is better because it's a longer range. It does I'm pretty sure it does the exact same goddamn thing. It is flat out better. I do not know why people do not play this character more. I honestly don't. Keith Conroy, on the other hand, boy, Justin, you put him on this table just because you knew Justin wasn't going to move anywhere, so you just kind of put him down there and
that's rude. That's very rude. Very rude. That's not why I did that. It's very rude though.
No, look, Justin, I love Justin. I honestly do. He's a great man. He is now part of the Buffalo guys, just like Nick, just like Ren. He is. I love these guys. They're adopted Canadians, every last one of them.
And they're nicer than the Canadians too, right, Ben?
Well, I'm English. So I'm a prick. Like, what do you want?
To be fair, Ben has to say this, or Justin will hang him upside down by his feet and dangling.
He can't lift me with one arm. He can't do it, and my back can't take it. So it might be a bad thing. No, I really like Justin's list. I honestly do. I think he's going to play this first game. I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't want to bet against Justin, but it's Keith Conroy. I don't know if he's had I'm going to take Justin. Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to play against the odds, and I think Justin is just going to roll out of his shoes, and it's just going to be amazing. And this is what it's going to be. Anybody else want to jump in?
I love Justin's list. I love me a Captain Planet list. Little sprinkle of everything. Fire elementals are legit good. Like,
yeah, they are.
Crush 2 is so good.
Yeah.
On those. But Keith Ooh. Keith will be Trixie, and I think it'll be a bloody mess, and Keith probably pulls it out in scenario.
I think
he's got one lone harpy just holding a token or something, and then like, look what I have. Yeah, that's how the game is going to end, and Keith will pull it out.
I think I actually, Justin, I if I was going to play Forces of Nature, I would play your list. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But Keith's list, all it does is run around you and then waits for you to make a mistake and then murders whatever it is that you gave a flank to. And then it'll just move to the next thing. So Keith, if he wins, won't actually get into combat until turn 5. And then he'll beat enough stuff in order to win the scenario. And he's going to do that 5 times in a row. Right. And that's how Keith's going to come in the top 5. Right. This is a list that he knows what he's doing. And to be honest, I don't think that even against like Kings of Men and Order of the Green Lady and right, I don't know if Keith is going to have the ability to hide from all of those because now it's like a super flying meta, right? But against anybody that doesn't have that, Keith is going to dictate the terms, and he's not going to get into combat until turn 5, and then he's going to win the scenario, right? That's what he's going to do.
Yeah. So, all right.
So I think Justin's list with 5 speed 10 flyers is faster than what we give credit for, and with the ability to ignore shambling for a turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Move at the double will cause fits. I think Keith hasn't played with the command dice, so I think he's going to be a bit caught off by that. And I think Justin will have the slight edge. I think Keith is going to have an absolute crazy submarine, end up in the top 5 overall. But I think it's going to be a rough turn 1. And I think Justin, with more experience with command dice, with what he's doing, is going to win. Keith has the experience with the army. Like, Keith knows what he's doing, but he doesn't know what he's doing with command dice at this point in time.
Yeah.
And game 1, he's going to find it out, and he's going to probably wait till turn 5 to do the charges and not have the time in turn 6 to capitalize.
Well, I know Justin was thinking about like the command dice because this is one of those things that we did talk about. So we'll see how this goes. But Justin, prove me right. Like,
and me.
And we'll see what happens with all of this.
So this is the last slide. Top player, dark horse, top team.
Was there a list that anybody saw that they were like, yeah, that's going to be it? Nobody? I think this is wide open.
All the Kingdoms of Men lists are very similar and also, very good. Unfortunately, that's what you see a lot is like, hey, it's almost like just copy paste and then change and now they're like 200 points and that's what you see. But there's a lot of good lists, a lot of flying. It's all about maneuverability and movement. I think, and I don't think there's any one list out there that there's no counter to.
Right.
It's not like last year no one was ready. At least nobody that came was ready to handle the Twilight Kin because it just did what it wants. None of us had really played against it or with it enough to be like, oh, this is terrible. Where I don't think that's the case. Force of the Abyss is probably the newest thing, but they didn't get completely redone. They just got kind of a little bit of a facelift. And the stuff that's new is new and good, but I don't think it's like, oh, I had no idea that's what they do.
Right.
It's got a stat line that you can read and go, okay, I know what that does.
So is there any, so you're thinking the same thing as I am. I think this is too close to honestly to call in any way, shape, or form.
I mean,
gonna put up a dark horse. I think actually Noah Hutton it will be my dark horse. He's been treading. I don't think he's cracked 500 in top half in any tournament that I've been at. And I think this might be one of the tournaments where he ends up top third, top four.
All right.
And top team will be Murder Garage because we've hired everyone to be on.
Negative Ghost Rider. The Horde is going to be top team. Your pattern is all the way full, and so therefore the Chandler Horde is going to be top team.
Wow.
I don't know if the Chandler Horde is going to win, but we will shoehorn enough dudes in there to keep.
Well, I want to know how many other teams are actually going. Like, what the hell? I hope people listen to this and go, "Oh, we need a team." Like, I honestly think some people like band together here. Like, come along, get going, and then come up to March of Death, which is going on the March 1st and 2nd of the following month.
Sure.
Dark Horse. I'm going to pick this new player. Sorry, his name was Alex Cuss. Alex.
Oh, I was going to pick Nathan Cerrone as my second.
That's the guy. No, it's. I'm going to dark horse the crap out of Alex. He's going to hate me for actually saying nice things about him, and I don't give a shit because that makes me even happier that he hates me even more. I think him coming out of retirement is a great thing. Top team, of course, it's going to be us. You're screwed this time around. Corey's playing the wrong army. Other Corey is going to smash me, and then I'm going to submarine my way all the way back up again. Mike, you're not playing, so obviously, like when the general's not at the front of the ship here, I mean, there's a problem.
The general, and I helped too. What are you even saying? Right? I did my part. Like, talking about.
I am honestly hoping that more people are banding together, starting a team. Come on up, come out and play us. Dead of Winter is the 1A of the 1A and 1B of the best tournaments of the years coming up between now and March.
It is certainly the best tournament in January and February.
Yes, that's right.
I will give you this. I will give you this.
That's right.
But top player, I don't think there's anybody that we can like by far. Normally, I would go, it's Corey, but I don't think he's got the reps in for this time around. And I think there's enough things going on that it could literally be anybody.
So I will say that the top player is going to be Chet, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. And what are you shaking your head no for, Ray? The top player is
Ray?
And Chet's going to be the dark horse, I guess. Like literally, he was like, no, that is not happening. Only because, listen, I could do this and go, top player is going to be Corey Reynolds. He's going to come in first. Best player is going to be Greg Person. Gambling Horse is going to win. Like, yes, we all know it's Titanic. The ship sinks. So we know how that ends. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm going to say other people, even though that's totally what's going to happen, right?
I don't think Corey's going to win. That's my top player prediction. It will not be Corey Reynolds.
All right.
Okay. So we're going back to Tiger Woods, Tiger of the field, Corey of the field, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Could be.
I don't know golf, but I'll accept that. That sounds good.
Sure.
Well, I think we've
blown our time, Ben. So Mike asked for 2 hours. We're 2 hours 12 minutes. So
I'm going to bed.
We're going to bed now.
Oh man,
I got to be at work by like 6:30 for this.
And I'm out of drinks. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on this evening. Thanks for talking this. And if anyone wants to still join, Mike, can they send you a list, message you at all, or is everything done?
Okay. No, it's too late, man. I mean, you had a couple weeks, you had a couple months to do this.
Fair enough.
So, just real quick, I do want to highlight a couple things. Number one, Dead of Winter happens every year. If you didn't make it this year, what's wrong with you? Get in next year. We're going to be doing some interviews at Dead of Winter, and I'm going to be posting those under Unplug Radio. Thank you, Nerve Check, for doing this because I don't have the patience to set any of this crap up for what we've been talking about. Go to March of Death. The Canadian dudes are great. Like, it's what's wrong with you, right? Like, get across the border and go hang out. And lastly, go buy Honors Price. I hear it's rather good.
So do I.
There you go. So there it is. That's everything I wanted to say. I said it really fast.
All right. Well, I will close this out just by saying thank you. Thank you again, Mike, for running a great event. Thank you for putting up with me there, Cory. You're gonna hate me by the end of our first game. It's gonna be great.
Negative
It's
Ghost
gonna be
Rider.
great.
It's all good.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, once again, thank you all for listening to Nerf Check. I have been me with the brains and two people that actually know what they're doing. And until next time, see you guys later.